Over the years of me making YouTube videos, I've used a variety of equipment and software. Stuff to record gameplay, stuff to record my voice, and stuff to put it all together into a video. I was randomly thinking about this recently and thought to myself, you know what? I'm gonna make a video about it. I know I've already kinda done this with my 500 subscriber special video, but let's be real. Hardly anyone is gonna go back and watch that. And honestly, you shouldn't. My video editing skills and standards were nowhere near as good as they are now. I know everyone does the whole ew, my older videos are trash thing, but it applies to me too. Anyway, here is a history of all the equipment and software I've used during my YouTube journey thus far. Starting with where it all began. Before I used any Elgato capture cards or Blue Yeti mics or anything like that, I used a built-in video editing app on my Xbox One called Upload Studio. For some reason, I don't know why my family and I did this, but we went with the Xbox One instead of the PS4 during the 8th gen console era. After the terrible Xbox One reveal where it initially seemed like the console would need a persistent internet connection, the Kinect would spy on us, we couldn't share and trade games, all of that shit still didn't turn my family and I away from this thing. And honestly, I'm glad we went with the Xbox because that meant I got to play Titanfall, one of my favorite FPS games of all time. During this time, I was watching all of these YouTubers making Let's Plays, funny/epic moments montages, things like that. And I was like, I want to do that. So, I began making videos through Upload Studio. Upload Studio came with all Xbox Ones and allowed you to piece together videos through clips that you've recorded onto your console. Every time you said, Xbox, record that, to your console, it would create a 30 or 60 second clip, depending on your settings. At least I think 30 and 60 seconds were the two options you had available. Regardless of the specifics, you'd be able to pick and choose the clips that were on your Xbox One, add them to the timeline, and perform various actions with them. Trimming them, adding built-in transitions and overlays, voiceovers with your Xbox mic, things like that. Compared to what a full-fledged video editor could do, Upload Studio was very basic. The most that I did was make epic and funny moments montages with games like Titanfall, Battlefield 4, Battlefield Hardline, Battlefield 1, etc. I even linked my YouTube account to Upload Studio to directly upload my videos there. I would go on to do this for a while, not even with any goals of gaining subs or making money or anything. Obviously, I would have loved to have gained tens of thousands of subs and tens of thousands of dollars at the time, but even I knew that just wasn't happening. I was doing this all just for fun. I was having so much fun doing this that for one Christmas, I want to say Christmas of 2017 if my memory serves me right, I asked my family if I could have a capture card, a microphone, and some kind of video editing software. When Christmas of that year came, I was gifted an Elgato HD60 and a Blue Yeti mic from my dad and grandma on his side, and the lifetime license for Wondershare Filmora by my mom and stepdad. The Elgato HD60 served me well. This was my primary capture card that I used from when I got it in Christmas 2017, again, if my memory serves me right, up until I got my next capture card in 2021. I just had my laptop at the time, so what I would do is I would hook up my HD60 to that and my console that I'd be using, which would either be my Xbox 360 or my Xbox One. Instead of using something like OBS, I would instead use the dedicated app that Elgato had. And for my Blue Yeti, I would also use the Elgato app instead of something like OBS or Audacity. This was my throwing shit at the wall to see if anything sticks era. Let's Plays, I was still doing the occasional epic/funny moments montage, things like that. I don't know if I ever did a video game review or essay at this time. I don't think so. I could be wrong though. The mid to late 2010s are honestly a blur to me. As for my Blue Yeti, I still use one to this day. Not the exact same one that was gifted to me back in 2017, but the same model. I saw that the Blue Yeti was a popular mic with YouTubers at the time of me wanting to start out, and so that's the one I requested and was eventually gifted. The HD60 Blue Yeti Filmora combo was one that stuck for a while. It's what I used up until I wiped my channel when the Kappa scare of 2019-2020 happened, and it's what I returned to when I began uploading videos again in mid-2020. I would then upgrade my capture card in 2021 to an Elgato 4K 60S Plus. At a whopping $400 for the capture card itself, a $30 4-year protection plan, and a 256GB SD card that I forget the price of, I paid a pretty penny for this upgrade. I couldn't afford a gaming PC at the time, but I also wanted to not have to rely on my laptop anymore to record gameplay. My laptop, the same one I'm still using for college stuff nowadays, wasn't super strong then, and it isn't super strong to this day. I never had any problems with it, but I wanted to have the convenience of leaving it be, along with wanting to record at higher resolutions. Plus. And with that, the 4K 60S Plus became my primary capture card, with my HD60 being a secondary card that I would use when recording Xbox 360 and Nintendo Switch gameplay. The Switch I got as a Christmas gift in, I wanna say, 2021. The main thing with the 4K 60S Plus is that it could do standalone recording. I'd plug in the power source, get my HDMI cords arranged accordingly, insert the SD card, and press record. The 4K 60S Plus would record all footage onto the SD card by itself. No computer was required. After I was done, I'd take the SD card out and transfer that footage to my laptop. It was also really cool for me to be able to record in 4K at the time. Nowadays, I don't have such a hard-on for 4K because holy shit, that takes up so much storage. Today, I just stick to 1440p. But back then, I was working with 4K footage and I thought that was so cool. I gradually got better at my video editing too, having figured out the type of content that I wanted to specialize in, that being video game reviews and essays. I had also swapped over to Audacity for recording all of my voiceovers. I had settled into that routine for a good while, 4K 60S Plus along with the Blue Yeti and Filmora. It was around this time that I had actually almost switched from Filmora to something else. In 2022, Filmora had upgraded to Filmora 11. This update was such a god-awful one that broke a ton of things. Exported videos would be a stuttering mess, audio tracks wouldn't track properly, like you'd hear your voice when the audio track said there's no audio playing and vice versa. It was bad. I almost hopped over to DaVinci Resolve, but I ultimately toughed it out with Filmora as hotfixes were released. The main reason why I didn't switch was because DaVinci Resolve locked GPU processing to the paid version, which was a couple $100. So if I made a video with that, it would take a long time to export it. Keep in mind, I only had my laptop at the time still for exporting and uploading these videos. With the GPU processing that Filmora has, it would still take anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes for a video to be fully exported depending on the length and resolution. If I could only do CPU processing, videos would have taken well over an hour at minimum to export. Version 11 wasn't the only thing that this video editing software has messed up on before though. Nowadays, this thing will not stop shoving AI tools down my throat. Every goddamn update, I'm forced to look at all the generative AI shit they've added in, and it's exhausting. Thankfully, I'm still able to put together a video on my own with ease. And even though Filmora has pivoted to AI like a lot of other companies, it would be really hard for me to let it go since I've been using it for just shy of 8 years now. Fun fact, all of my video editing skills that I've picked up over the years, that's all been self-taught. I never enrolled in a video editing course of any kind. I just watched YouTube tutorials, played around with various settings on my own, and gradually got better. You know what else eventually got better? My computer. After only having a laptop for years, I finally got a desktop PC in August 2024 as a birthday gift. Big shout out to my dad and grandma on his side for this because they were the ones who paid for it. At this point, I felt that having a desktop PC wasn't just an upgrade for the hell of it, it was outright necessary if I wanted to keep doing this content creation stuff. Not only was I still making YouTube videos, but I had also started streaming on Twitch. I had started with my laptop using my HD60 and then swapped over to streaming from my Steam Deck for a good while. But I knew that if I wanted to get the most out of my videos and streams, I had to upgrade. My PC has an Intel i7 12700K CPU, an NVIDIA RTX 3080 Ti as my GPU, 32GB of RAM, 2TB of NVMe SSD storage, and a 1000 watt power supply unit. This thing has been an amazing all-in-one beast. I can play games, watch YouTube, stream, and make videos from this thing. Needless to say, I don't use my capture cards much anymore. I haven't touched my HD60 nor my 4K 60S Plus in forever. Not because I suddenly hate them, but because I just haven't needed to use them. And with emulation becoming better and better, I haven't needed to boot things up like my PlayStation 2 or Xbox 360. Nowadays, I just record/stream everything through OBS. If on the rare occasion I need to record some footage from a console like my PS5, I'll hook up my 4K 60S Plus and do the whole record on an SD card then transfer it thing. But I haven't had to do that for well over a year by this point. And that's all the equipment and software that I've used so far on my content creation journey. This was a nice quick little video I've been wanting to put together for a while now. It also serves as a way for me to look back at how far I've come since then. To think that I started with making epic/funny moments montages through Upload Studio on my Xbox One to nowadays regularly going through the real deal where I script out a video, record a voiceover, record gameplay footage, edit that all together. It's nuts to think about. Anyway, that'll do it for me today. Stay safe, stay healthy, and peace out.